What's happening, Tribe Nation? It's your boy Apache bringing you yet another YouTube video. And yes, I want to tell you guys about the time that I almost got arrested and thrown into the big house with fucking Tyrone flexing his pectoral muscles, ready to do obscene things to me. Quick disclaimer, I want to say that I don't think every cop is bad. I think it depends on the person behind the badge. That's all I'm going to say for that. But anyways, I was in middle school, and me and my friend, which I'm still best friends with to this day, we heard about a party going on at an apartment complex that I used to actually live at. So we decided to go to this party, and we get there, and it's at this apartment complex pool. We're thinking there's going to be girls, and just, you can imagine what our middle school minds were thinking at the time. So we get there, and it's it's literally a bunch of middle-aged men tossing a beach ball around a swimming pool. And we were like, hell nah, we're not about to get caught up in this. It didn't look good when we pulled up, so we ended up leaving, and it's about like 9 o'clock at night at this time. We got there at about 8:55 and left at 9 o'clock. We were like, fuck that. So we go to leave, and we have to walk home. And on the way to back to my house, there's a shortcut that was behind a grocery store where I was living at the time. So we had to walk behind this grocery store. And so I noticed that there was a police car that drove past us, whatever. I didn't really think much of it. Anytime you see a police car drive by you, it's not really a big deal. So I go to walk, me and him, we go to walk behind this grocery store, and we get about halfway down past it. Like, we're about to be, past the grocery store. And that's before this guy rolled up on us in his police car in, like, Batman, just complete stealth mode. Like, this guy was a cyborg. I don't know how he did it, but he did it. And so eventually I heard, like, a car's intercooler fans and engine running coming up behind us. And I turn around, and that's when I get flashed in the face by some headlights. The woo-woo noise went off on the cop car, and the lights went off, and he had this blinding-ass spotlight. He shined right in our eyes. He got out of the car, and he just said, fucking freeze. So that's exactly what we did. We were just dumbfounded. So at this point, he tells me, put your hands on the car. And that's exactly what I do, because he said, if you take your hands off the car, I'm going to tase you. So you better believe my hands were not about to come off of this car. They were literally super glued to the hood of that car. And then he handcuffed my friend. He put my friend in handcuffs and told him to sit down. Now, so my friend starts to slowly try to sit down on his hands on the concrete, but then the cop actually yelled at him. He said, sit down. So then he just dropped, and he landed on his knuckles on the concrete. Man, it sounded disgusting. I could hear it. I wasn't looking because I just had my fucking face looking at the metal of the hood of the car, and I just heard him drop to the ground extremely hard. I was like thinking, oh shit. So the cop comes up behind me, and he starts kind of frisking me, patting me down, asking me, did I have anything in my pockets? And at this point, I'm so damn nervous. I'm being extremely honest, and I'm telling him, no, there's just a stick of gum in my left pocket. And he took that as me being a smartass. And he was like, you trying to be a funny guy? And I was like, no, sir, no. And at this point, I'm fucking sweating bullets, man. And so at that point, he calls back up, and just a complete array of shit at this point. We're sitting there, my hands are on the car for the past 20 to 30 minutes. My friend's over there, his knuckles are literally bleeding profusely. It looked terrible when I actually ended up seeing it. But, so my dad sees flashing lights, and he knows from the house, because you could see the shortcut behind the grocery store from my house, and my dad knows that I took that shortcut pretty frequently to get to friends' houses and things like that. And so we saw that, and I guess his parent spidey instincts started kicking in, so he ended up driving up behind the fucking 2 cop cars that were there. And he got out, and he exchanged words with the cop. My dad was pretty pissed. And my dad didn't even scold me for it. He just said, don't walk behind this business ever again, or whatever. And he wasn't really pleased with how the cop just kind of went about the way he stopped us and asked us stuff. I mean, if you got one guy getting threatened to get tasered, mind you, I'm in middle school at that time. And then, my friend's over there bleeding profusely across the concrete, and he's in handcuffs and shit. And So the cop he finds like a bag of mushrooms, like the mushrooms you eat, behind the fucking dumpster or something like that. He walks up joking with me and my friend. He's like, "Were you guys trying to take these?" And at the time I was just thinking in my head, I'm like, bro, you were the biggest fucking dick. Your wife doesn't sleep with you. If you weren't a cop, I swear to God, this, that, and the other. And so, yeah, this guy, I mean, I don't think every cop's a dick, and I know there's a lot of controversy around police right now. I just think it was this guy in general. This guy was just a pure, flat-out asshole. But this was years upon years ago, man. Like, me and my friend were in our 20s now, and that was in middle school, and we still talk about that night, how fucking odd and bizarre it was. Like, showing up to a party with a bunch of middle-aged men throwing a beach ball around, and then the whole cop situation afterwards when we're literally just trying to get back to my house. We thought that was pretty much bullshit. Anyways, if you guys did enjoy the video, drop a like and subscribe. It'd really help the channel grow, and I'd really appreciate it. But as for now, I shall see you guys later.